Rita, there is something drier on the way this weekend, but a gradual process in terms of things drying up. And certainly we are still feeling the effects of Storm Henk. We saw the flooding earlier in the programme. Currently, there are more than 300 flood warnings in force. In fact, one severe flood warning in Tenby in Pembrokeshire. And there is a bit more rain to come in the short term.
Good afternoon. It is still a very blustery day in the wake of Storm Henk, but the wind not as strong as yesterday. Bright start this morning, beautiful sunrise over in Twickenham, but that sunshine, of course, daylight reveals all the trees that have been struck down over the capital. But we have had some sunny spells, and this afternoon further bright spells, but also some further blustery, potentially quite heavy showers blowing in on that still very brisk southwesterly wind.
Now, just before the weather, the London Eye closed yesterday for a short while a hatch on one of the pods ripped open. David Knock, who was visiting London from Bournemouth, said it was terrifying. He pushed the emergency button to let staff know about it. The London Eye has apologised for any inconvenience and said no parts of the pod actually detached from the wheel. It was all because of the incredible winds we had yesterday. Very different day today, though. Elizabeth.
Yeah, it was for most of us. Yeah, we started off with some sunshine, which felt like a real relief after Storm Henk yesterday. All those squally gusts of wind, it made for a very fruity rush hour, of course, as well, didn't it? But some rainbows around today because, of course, it wasn't too long before we saw the showers push in through the afternoon. And some of those showers, again, were really quite heavy. And in many places, the ground is pretty saturated as well. You can really get the feel for that, I think, from this Weather Watcher photo from Surbiton Zoo here. There are a number of flood alerts in place, a couple of flood warnings out towards the west as well. There's more rain to come in the forecast too, so it's not quite over yet. Most of that rain is going to be coming tomorrow afternoon and through the evening, and then things are set to change. High pressure will build in. It will be turning drier and colder as we head through the weekend and into the start of next week.
A little bit of a ropey moment. The London Eye have said no one was hurt, nothing came off the London Eye, and it was rigorously checked before reopening. And I managed to talk about the London Eye without mentioning Tom Cruise. Oh dear, just mentioned him.
Your claim to fame from last year, you need another one for 2024.
Oh no, you just set me a resolution. I'm not a resolution.
A challenge.
Right, a challenge. OK, I'll work on it. And we've also, by the way, got a weather warning in place, Duncan. Okay. Another one for tomorrow, a rain one. A bit of uncertainty as to how far north that rain will come, but it does look like a wet end to the day and the evening. Here we go. Here's the full forecast. Hello again. I hope you had a good day. The sun was spotted. How lovely to see. Well done, Jack. Thank you for that. We have, however, still got some showers around this evening and for the first half of the night. Tomorrow, a dry start. It should be decent as we get in into Thursday, but then there is rain moving in the afternoon and evening, hence that yellow rain warning in place. And then from Friday into the weekend, it's drier, but getting chillier.
Good news again today if you're a duck or indeed a swan. Not quite so good for the rest of us, of course. We're only 3 days into the month, but already some spots in Lincolnshire have seen the whole average January month's rainfall, nearly that anyway. So some very high rainfall totals around, still potentially some more rain to come as well. In fact, at last count, over 260 flood warnings still in force. A severe flood warning too in place in Tenby in Wales. Most of the flood warnings across the Welsh Marches and across central southern England and the Midlands.
I speak now to our weather presenter Joe Blythe, who's by the River Wharf in Otley, West Yorkshire, for us this evening. And Joe, what's it looking like where you are?
Well, Mary, rivers such as the Wharf here are running very high across the whole of the country. There's an alert from the Environment Agency for this particular river, but others have warnings in place with further flooding expected over the next 24 hours. The problem is the ground now is becoming increasingly saturated across many parts of the country, which will exacerbate flooding where we find rainfall over the next couple of days or so. Of course, Storm Henk yesterday bringing heavy rainfall and some strong winds across many central and southern parts of Wales and England during yesterday afternoon. And we saw some gale force gusts recording 94 miles an hour at the Needles in the Isle of Wight, 81 miles per hour gust at Exeter Airport, and even at Heathrow, 69 miles per hour yesterday. Very mild air associated with Storm Henk yesterday. Usually we'd expect temperatures of around 8 or 9 degrees at this time of year, but yesterday recording in the south of the country around 14 Celsius. There is a change to come on the way with colder conditions moving in, but the next 24 hours will be quite critical for parts of the country, with more rainfall expected. After a quiet start to the day tomorrow, a band of heavy rain accompanied by strong winds will move across the English Channel into the south of the country. So the Met Office has released a yellow warning through tomorrow afternoon into the early hours of Friday morning, covering those southern counties into East Anglia and Greater London for heavy rainfall, particularly bad during tomorrow evening's rush hour. Windy conditions will continue across many areas overnight tonight and to start the day tomorrow, but hopefully there'll be a bit more in the way of brightness and drier conditions for many of us to start the day. However, by tomorrow evening, wet and windy weather will be moving up from the south into southern parts of England and Wales. We have an alert from the Environment Agency for the River Wharfe here, but other parts of the country have warnings in place. And if you are concerned, it's always best to check the Environment Agency website for your area and if you're at risk from flooding. Take care.